We are from IT Talent Hub. So we are the company which is running from last 10 years, doing mostly trainings in the UK in London. And we had at least 1,500 people within our community, which we trained are working in different companies, especially Selenium and Java. Um, and we also have a dedicated recruiting team. So right now we are also hiring a lot of people, especially Playwright for Anglian Water and for the Department of Education, and there are some other companies that we also personally hiring. So we see there's a lot of demand for this Playwright, and we thought we used to teach our Selenium, but we thought we will actually start teaching Playwright instead of Selenium. Uh, so yeah, some of our clients are Department of Education, Cocorio, London General Practice, Transform UK, Test Partners, and Myco. So these are the companies we directly work with, and we indirectly work with a lot of consultancies and agencies. So whenever they have some requirement, especially with this Playwright and ETL testing, AI testing, so there are a lot of things that we are good at. So people will normally come to us and say, guys, do you have some good CVs that we can actually have a look? And then we send most of our students, because we train them and we know that they got a lot of skills. So we train them and give them, and they're like very happy to have a word with them. And if they're all happy, then they will be like saying, good, can we just do an interview and hire them? So that is the kind of association we have. So you can see here, you can see, I mean, we have a lot of success, especially with testing with different companies. So this is all my students who are working in different companies in different roles. So you can see the very famous names like HMRC, NHS, Michael Kors, Ordnance Survey, and William Hill, Fraser Group. So this is this is where my students are working. And now, I mean, I think there are a lot of uh, people who actually say that they can teach Playwright in a couple of days with huge fees and all. But what we believe is, we believe the other way around. I think especially this kind of tools will take a lot of time for you to adapt the actual gist of it. Like example, JavaScript is not Java. You can't actually use Java just the same way that you use Java, because it's an object oriented, and JavaScript is a single threaded language. So you can't just do just learn like that. So we had taken a lot of learnings, and especially people like me, and we got another in the call. I will introduce him in a bit, and we got a lot of experience dealing with people like you. So we know how to teach and give a lot of experience while training. So that's the reason why we have got a lot of experience. We know what exactly we're doing, and our curriculum that I will share you in a minute is what we designed, uh, especially with a lot of interest to know what is the most important things that is required, instead of teaching a lot of things. Example, coming to JavaScript, if you actually want to learn JavaScript in full, is very difficult. Example, maps and object oriented programming and all, it's not, I mean, especially if you want to do a lot of things, you can do it, but it's not required from an automation point of view. So we know what to teach, what not to teach. And we got big success rate. So that's the reason why I think we know the formula, how we can actually help the people to get a good placement. And we also help in placement assistance, not only training, after the training. So that is why we also unique. And we have a lot of network with consultancies and companies around UK. We know exactly where the requirement is going on, and we have a recruiting team dedicated to actually help our students. And what are the projects that we are giving within the training is top, like real projects, not like login page and stuff. We give healthcare and e-com projects. And finally, it's not only training, we help in interview preparation, which is like talking about what you learn. And finally, all the certifications that we do, we have our own certification we can provide, or they also can get some BCS certification. And coming to this software testing, so we have two parts of what is manual and automation. But because you guys already know manual, provided I have provided If you, I mean, I think I can see a couple of people are already manual. They know manual testing. So I may jump into directly automation, but because we have two newcomers, let's just welcome them, and then based on that, I think we can decide whether we need to discuss about manual testing. Okay, so yeah, any questions? Cool. Okay, coming to automation testing, guys, very important. Have a look into my screen just for half an hour. If you can concentrate, I will tell you what exactly, what exactly is in the market and how you can actually kind of learn this automation in very simple terms. So if you see the course overview, the main thing is your coding skills. So you need to learn JavaScript or TypeScript. So these coding skills, as I said before, it is only to tweak. So you don't need to write a big framework like Selenium, or you don't need to write a massive code from scratch and too much of object-oriented programming. You don't need to do that. I'll show you a demo of this Playwright. It is very simple. You can do a record and playback, copy paste it, and you can actually write maybe some coding around it, and then you can run it. It'll work. So nowadays, you don't need to, especially with GitHub, we got this code build, and we got a lot of AI tools, and there are a lot of help for coding. So coding is very easy to write. Okay, even, I mean, I don't want to tell. It's a very big secret, guys. Don't tell to anyone. Keep it with you. Even Chat.GPT, you can take help and write the code. Okay, so that easy nowadays coding is. Unfortunately, testing people have a little bad perception that they need to do a lot of coding, and the coding is something very difficult, and there'll be a lot of development. So that's the reason why people will be reluctant to come to automation testing. But the secret is, if you know some basics, what is automation, and if you can use a lot of shortcuts, like as I said, you can use automatic coding and also ChatGPT, you can actually write a lot of code. And the record and playback is straight away, I will show you. So coding is required, but up to very basic level. And then where do you write all this code? You'll write all this code in Visual Studio. It's on Visual Studio, which is like your IDE. You need to have some IDE to write the code. So Visual Studio code is really good. And coming to other part of the course, what we teach is how to set up your Playwright. It is very basic, guys. I mean, like, you just need to run some basic commands and the setup is ready. Once the setup is ready, you need to actually know, this is a common for every automation tool. If you have Selenium everywhere, they form some fundamental topics of automation, which is locating an element, which is common throughout any tool. If you take, I worked with Cucumber, Selenium Java, I worked with Windrunner, I worked with Silk Test. People don't know about it. I worked with Capybara, I worked with Wartier, I worked with what he called Cucumber with Ruby, Cucumber with .NET, what else? Tosca, Selenium IDE. Everywhere I go, a lot of automation tools, but one thing common is locator. So how do you find these locators is a common, and that is where most of the tests will fail. So we'll teach you how to separately get the knowledge of locating, especially with the browser testing. So there is something called XPath and CSS, which is very important. And if you talk about XPath, you are the automation tester. If you don't know that, then you are not correct. So we'll teach you that. Assertions. Assertions are very important. If you need to write the test cases, the test case should have actual and expected value. I think if you take a basic test cases from a manual testing point of view, there's always an expected and actual result. So the comparison is called assertion. There are different ways to do it. And now coming to test management. See here, whatever I'm teaching here, it's generic. Okay, Playwright is good, but we are actually using the best practices of automation and converting the Playwright tool into our own way of doing it. Because if you ask Playwright, it will give you a plain script, but that is not a good practice. We need to know what we want so that we can write the code. So test cases, test suites, and you're writing utilities is the basic for every tool, and Playwright, how to do it, we will teach. And coming to page object model, very, very important, because after Selenium, when the people went to Cypress don't support page object model. People forgot about it. But again, now people are talking about page object model. Page object model is a design pattern, which is the fundamental of automation testing. It's like, there are a lot of design patterns, example, Java Spring and all. There are a lot of design patterns, like, singleton and single object, all these things. So this is like a Java patterns. But from automation testing point of view, page object model is a pattern, and you need to follow the design pattern. Okay, and how to do, if you are going to interview or if you go to the job, if you're saying that I write a linear code, then you're not using reusability. If there's no reusable, then you have chances that you can't maintain your automation script. So page object model will make you sure that it abstracts the layer of test and your business logic. So very simple concept. I mean, I know I'm talking with developer testers. You're all not developers, but simple concepts will make you way other than other manual testers who are with you. So what is the difference between manual and automation tester? Automation testers know all these things like page object model and your locators. If you know that, you are an automation tester. If you don't know that, so this is the fundamentals of automation testing. Now, CI/CD pipeline, everything is good. You are putting your code in your local, but can you actually integrate in CI/CD, or can you only run locally? Running locally is no more a utility. You need to run that in multiple browsers, multiple environments, in a cloud version of your of your container. So you need to know how to link your CI/CD pipeline. Finally, API testing is also very much important part of your tests, because almost every company is now going to microservice architecture. API testing is an integral part of testing, and people normally use Selenium and Postman separately. So you need to have a lot of maintenance overhead. So what Playwright did, one of the advantages of Playwright is you can do it for API testing. So for API testing, you can use Playwright. And finally, end-to-end, not only running the test automation at the unit level, running the end-to-end implementation is also very important. And finally, whatever we teach is based on the UK levels, UK standards. Okay, so this is our automation testing course overview, guys. I'll go in detail and show you a couple of automation scripts. But my question is, do any of you have any questions on any of this topic so far? Any questions on any of the topic? Anyone? Any questions? Anyone so far?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, Aaron.
Okay. Sorry, I was going to ask about something about coding, but you have hammered on that, and then you have talked about how one can be helped with coding without having to probably write it from afresh. So going through those areas you have mentioned, I don't want to call them, but I know what you mean. So you can get some coding to augment what you want to do. So that's my only section I want to, because I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm a doctor in computer science, but I did long time .NET, Java, all those things. What I did my master's, but I wasn't interested in programming, and that's why I wasn't teaching programming. When I get to university, I say I don't want to teach programming. So that kind of a thing. But yeah. But apart from that,
as I said, when you join the course, there'll be minimum coding. But as I said, we have this thing like recording scripts, and I'll show you. Yes, you will write. You will almost not write much of code. It will be very minimal from coding point of view.
That's okay.
Cool. Okay. So now, if you don't have anybody, if you don't have any questions on this, then we'll go to the demo. Okay, so carefully have a look into the demo, guys. So I will be taking Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is as I said, this is our IDE. So let me open a couple of projects for you. This is one project, which is very basic project. You can see here, we got a small project. You can see here. So this is a project, and mainly, how do you actually? You can see here, especially with JavaScript point of view, very simple, guys. You will always have three important things. One is package.json, which is a config file for your getting the dependencies, because Playwright is a library. So every end of the day, we are actually talking about JavaScript or a Node.js architecture. So right, what we do, we install a small project where it's called it got some basic ingredients. One is package.json. You don't need to do anything of it. If you run a init command, this will be generated. And here, where is the Playwright? This is the library that we will use. Okay, only very basic file, and you don't need to do anything. It will come by default. The other important thing is, you can see here, Playwright config file. So this config file, it will be your settings of your complete test. So it will tell example, I don't want to go in detail, but what report you want and what exactly is your browser settings, so which browser you want to run. All these things will be part of the config file. So that will be your config file. And what do you do with this config file is just it will help to get all your settings. Okay, so it will get all your settings of your test. Example, if you want to run in CI/CD also, you can do it. So there are a lot of details, but right now there's some default settings that we can keep it in the rules. So that will be your master controller of your whole automation testing. Okay, so now the other thing is tests. So you can see here, there are a lot of tests here, and every test will be having TS. We're using 1 second, guys, 1 second. Yes, yeah, sorry. So yeah, so we got some test cases here. You can see here, we have some test, and every file is a test suite. In that, you will have test cases. Okay, so how do we get these test cases? Either we record, or we write the code. So the easiest part is the recording part. So let me show how we can record it. Okay, now you can see here, guys, this is very simple. Playwright. So I put npx. Npx is nothing but a command which executes any of your utilities in Node.js. So in JavaScript, the only thing that you need to do is you need to open your command prompt, run this Playwright, and here we have multiple options. Okay, you can see here we have open, we have codegen, we have install, we have uninstall, and we have some other things. You don't need to do anything. For just to start with, let us run an open command. What will this command will do? Okay, you can see here, while I'm talking beautifully, your Playwright opened a browser and it opened a inspector. Okay, so see, guys, I'm trying to not go in detail, just a demo, because we're talking about demo. So what we can do, example, we have an application, we have a browser, and we have a recorder. So what you need to do is you need to just record your scripts, and automatically that data that we can create a test case out of it. So you don't need to do any coding. Example, I am taking a website called sourcedemo.com. It's a very sample e-com application. just like our Amazon. Okay, so here I opened a small browser and there is some username and password which is there. This is just a demo for us. And login. You can see here, it's like Amazon. We have some items to buy. So I select on one item. I go to the cart. I go to the checkout. And I need to make sure that I should get this screen. So this is my simple test case. As a part of checkout, you need to see a checkout information screen. Okay, so this is my test. Now what I did in the parallel, I did not put any recording. That's the reason why this no coding, nothing happened. This is normal way of doing, and because I'm not recording, nothing happens. But now what I will do, I will look, I'll go back, cancel, and open to the home page. Okay, now see here, I can start recording. If I start recording, see here, the lot of things happening. So I will exactly do the same thing which I have done before. Standard user. Oh, sorry. Underscore user. And the password is secret underscore SAUSC. Okay. Add to cart, go to the cart, checkout, and this information is there. So we need to just highlight this information and just that's it. Okay. You can see here something is recorded. I'll just stop it. See here, now this is the code which is nicely generated by our Playwright. Okay, so what will happen now? This code is what we need. I will simply copy paste now. Okay, so here we can actually, even if you see, basically this Playwright is supported by Java also. If you want, the code will come in Java as well. You can see here. And if you want, the code will come in C#.NET, Python. If you want in Python, you will get in Python. But I don't recommend any of the other languages rather than your JavaScript, because that is where mostly people will use. So now what I will do, I'll just come here. See here, I'll just go here and I'll create a new file called what is called example today is July testing demo.spec.ts. Okay, just keep it here and I simply copy paste the code. Okay, but only thing is, see, as I said, a little bit tweaks we need to do it because we can't just directly. Oh no, I think I haven't copy pasted properly. I think that's just copy. Now see here, I'll just go here, copy paste. That's it. I haven't done any one line of code. Okay, now this is done. So what I can do is now go back to my, go back to your code, which is this. And now that is done, I can just stop. Okay, so now I had recorded my code, came back. Now what I need to do, now I can actually go and run test. Just to type test. But now which test I want to do? I want to do this. Sorry. Okay, so I can actually run either all the test, or you can see here, there's an option where I can run the test with Playwright. I can actually put a specific test. So what I will do is, tests. Okay, test comma July testing demo. Let's see here. I can run a specific test. See, now I haven't run any one line of code here. Okay, I'm just recorded, playback, kept it here, run. See here, what will happen now? Now you can see here, that test is actually running. Which test is running? The test which is with just recording playback. Okay, see here, the test is running, and we will see the result in a minute. Okay, it's still running. So there will be an option for this test results. So we'll see the results in a minute. See here. Okay, so okay, see here, the tests are actually failed in 3 browsers. Let me see what happened. Okay. It is failed because what happened? Let me check. The tester failed. What happened? It's not able to double click on something. Okay. The reason why this is because, okay, we haven't started the recording from the giving the URL because the URL is not available. Okay. So the problem is the test was failing because it haven't opened your URL. So this is because I got experience, I know what to do it. So what I need to do, I just need to go and add that specific URL. So, this is the website. This is the one line of code. I'm just quickly do for you. Okay. See here, I run it. Now, just Control C, run again. Okay. Now, the test is running and you can wait and you can see here. Now the test is actually finished. Now go back to your report, which is nothing but this one. Refresh it. Oops, where is my report? Okay, guys, 1 second. Okay, so yeah, this is the command to open the report. Okay, because it is. So now here, the 3 tests are passed. And you can see here, each and every line got passed and everything is working absolutely fine. And all my tests are passed. Okay, that means that the test is successfully executed. That's it, guys, as simple as that. And then you go and commit this code into your give to the developer, and developer will use this continuously. And this tomorrow, if the checkout is not working, example, let us just think that they have changed the functionality and there is some database issue. All the data is changed. Okay, so now let us wantedly fail it and see how it goes. Okay, so sorry, not reporting. I want to open the actual test. Okay, see here, now the test is running. Okay, see now I wantedly given a wrong username. So I'm expecting my test to fail. Okay, let's see how it happens. Yeah, obviously it will take a lot of time. Now it will say that I'm sorry, your test will be failed. So it will exactly fail at the time where we are expecting after login button. I think this is the place it will fail. See, the tests are failed. Where it is failed, if you go to the details, as expected, it was failing at that add to cart because it haven't logged in successfully. Okay, and we can add screenshots and all these things later. But see here, all the tests are failed or passed, but at one point it failed. So like that, now this is guaranteed that this test will be using forever as a regression test. This small code, piece of code, you can run 100 times in multiple browsers. It always works until unless there's a bug. So we are covering your most of the functionality by just spending 5 minutes. Okay, very simple, guys. Very, it's a very simple way to do it because the technology is so advanced. You don't need to worry about how to, too much of coding. So see here, simple with just like that, I opened it. Okay. Any questions so far?
Let me check. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, Glenn. Yeah. Tell me.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Well, I understand this is just demo, and then you are not going to teach us anything here, but you're teaching us something right away anyway. So when the test fails, as did yours, this one, when you put the name change or something, when it fails, what do you do? Do you communicate with the developer, or you try to amend it, or what exactly will you do at that point? That's one. Two.
Very good question. Yeah, go ahead.
And the second one is, when you are actually running it, how do you know when you finish running, when the system finished running the apps?
Yeah, it will see. I mean, it will give an say when it's finished running, it will stop. For example, see here.
Yeah.
See here. It run. After that,
Okay.
it will actually complete the actual thing. It completes the say that it will
Oh,
give
I
a
see.
message that the test is running.
Running, yeah. And say it's complete.
Is complete. So that is one way. Or if you want, I can actually. So this is like as I said, right? This is because I'm running in my command because I'm very expert. But if you, when you guys, if you want to see in real time how this test is running, now let us see. So now you can see here the test is running. You can actually see live how the test is running. Okay, see here. Now the test is here. I can go and run. Okay, now you can see the test instead of we got the report, but now you will actually see how the test is running. Okay. Okay, where is this test? Okay, let me run it. Oops. See here. Okay, so it already ran. See here, the test was actually running. So see here. See, so far it will be very fast. See, you can see the test. That was how that happened, and it will run. And let us go and change the password. Okay, for an example. Now I will close this session and run it in UI. Okay, now see here, the specific test here. Now see here, I will run the test, it will fail. Okay, and now you can see here it failed. So you can actually see at this line it got failed. Why it got failed? Because we are expecting a add to cart button, and because you are not logged in as a user, the test is failed. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, now you know that, oh, the test is failing. Now you can visually see this is a bug. So now you can take a screenshot of this like this and report to developer. Okay, so this is how, if you want to see in the UI, you can do it. Or if you want to get in HTML report, you can get it. But this is called runner. So runner means you can run. Okay, and if you want to run all the tests also, you can do it. So example, let me just, just run. Not only specific test, I will run --- UI. Let's see what happens. See here. Now you can see all my tests. Okay, see here. This is a little bit bigger test. Okay, see here. Okay, see here. There's some other test cases. You can see here how the test is working. So example, you got 20 test cases. All the test cases you can run at simple one line. Okay, see here. Now the test is failing because they got some problem in the regression test. So you can see the timeline, everything. So okay, so it will run all the test suite. Okay, making sense?
Oh, yes, it made a bit of sense here. What of the color? Does color matter? Color of the coding, does it matter?
No. It doesn't matter. It is just it's giving some significance here. That's it. I mean, it's the red is string, the page is the actual JavaScript code. So all the red is the strings. Okay, if you know a little bit of JavaScript, you'll understand.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I mean, anyway, we will teach all these things. Okay, so it is like that's exactly why. You join the course, you will go in detail.
Yeah,
Here,
thank you very
there's some
much.
other test. Yeah, no problem. So you can see here, there's a lot of tests here. So this is some big test. You can see here, the test is there. Till thanks for order. So this is an end-to-end test. So one test, I'll run it again for you. You can see here, it does add to cart to basket, and it will till complete of your completion of your order end-to-end test. This is a big one. Okay, you got a lot of codes. Okay, cool. Glenn, you got a question?
Hi, yeah, thanks. Thanks for the demo. That's really good. Just a quick question about the config file, really. So, would you just use one config file, or can you target another one? So, if you wanted to do, say, a certain amount, say, certain browsers using one config file and other browsers in another, or would you just edit the same config file every time?
Yeah, that's a good question. So that is actually based on the scenario. Example, if it is a multiple browser, so we don't need to change anything. Example, you can see here for browser
Yeah.
configuration. Exactly, I mean, running the test in parallel or multiple browser, different viewports. Example, you can see here. There is a mobile. For this one is okay, but one fundamental thing is your single origin policy. Okay, which is called which is the main domain of your particular um, domain where you starts your particular test. So
Yeah.
normally when you are having different environments like UAT, production, no, production you want to run, but development or pre-prod, then you may need to have multiple configs so that you are saying that for test, this is the base URL. So there will be one parameter called base URL. That base URL you can have multiple config in the base URL and even the APIs. You can see here there is an API config. So the example you want to test with one specific backend, one specific front end. For that you need to have one for then you need to have multiple, and that is configurable when you're running your in your command line. When you're running it, you can actually specify which config file you want to do, especially with CI/CD.
Okay.
You can
Yeah,
specify
makes sense.
you can specify that in your, and then you can say that use this config. So that's what they're doing it in CI/CD.
Yeah, so you could have multiples, then just change which one you want to use. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Good. And yeah, coming to your this is what I'm talking is like the basic test. But I mean, I don't want to show this, but if you want to, I mean, what we will plan as per the course is we will even make you to learn a little in a more very organized. So you can see I had opened a different project, and this is what will make your tests a little bit more better. So this is good. I mean, it fits the purpose. But if you are actually working for a bigger organization, example, you work for Amazon or Facebook, or even example, you are working with Tesco example. So obviously there'll be a lot of multiple complicated test cases, and you have more end-to-end tests. So the bigger, I mean, like the more test cases you have, the more complexity you need to handle, then you will go for a better framework. And you can't just have the same things. You need to make your coding better, and then you need to make sure that your coding should be better, and also you need to make sure that you handle all the complexity. So that's the reason why there is few things called here. There is, as I discussed in my course previously, and that is what I will show you in my course curriculum as well. So we have something called page object model, and we got some weights, assertions, and we need to make sure that we are also using, you can see here, a complicated piece of the code also should be written to handle complexity. So for that, I mean, I would not recommend you guys to do straight away, but at the end, based on your absorption skills, we will actually do something like page object model and those kind of things. So what is page object model? You can see here, this is a, you can have pages and you have tests. So you're abstracting your tests into page objects and test cases. And also, if you want, you can manage the test data. So you are abstracting your whole framework into decoupling your complexity into small chunks, and that parts will be like page object model and utilities like that. You can do it just to better organize the things better. So at the end, we will actually teach you those concepts also. Especially, you can see here, keeping all the locators at one place. You know, a little bit more organization that we will teach. Okay, so you can see here there is something, and also there's some API testing also. So there is some kind of API testing concepts as a part of your Playwright, which is what we will teach as well. Like, you know, writing a little bit You can see here there is a way that we can run the tests in different configurations. So we have something. So we will teach you a bit of API testing and this complex testing at the end of the course for you to little bit learn the things better. Okay, so for an example, if you want to see here, you can see here this HTML file. Let me open. Okay, see here, this is like a more complex. This is like more complex code, and it got a lot of details in it. Okay, so example, we got. I mean, I don't know. Like 1 second. I think I haven't run the complete test, but if I run the complete test here, it'll take like maybe half an hour or something like that. So it is very. Let me just show you something. Playwright. Okay, I don't run, but I'll just let it run by himself. Not npm, sorry, it's npx typo. Yeah. Okay, let's leave it for now. So like that, you can see here, if you want to run it in a very higher level, we got a lot of other things to discuss as well, which we can deal at the end of the course. Like that, we have a more complicated bits of tests that we can discuss, and also we can discuss about something like some basic git commands where you can put your code in a git, and also there are some high level topics that we will discuss at the end of the course. Okay, so yeah, so that's it, guys. That is about the whole topics of this course. Do you have any questions about it? It is not only me. I got my co-faculties who can actually help you always. I mean, if I am busy with my, for example, I got some call, you got somebody else to talk.
It's okay,
Anna?
sir.
Yes, Sriram. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Good afternoon. I'm Another here. I'm also one of the senior trainer associated with IT Talent Hub. Yeah, I'm also having 20 years of experience as of now with the IT industry. And as Sriram told, we are here to help the people on the training and making the people on success on the career. Yeah, that's what. So as Sriram told, the trainings are very much hybrid. And even we are also running from the office. So everyone interested, please come and join with us. Otherwise, the training will go online. Yeah, so that's what. I'm a test manager working with London, UK, and many of the clients associated, top clients we are working on. Yeah, that's what maybe the overview. And happy to talk to you and if any questions for me. Thank you, Sriram.
Okay, Anna. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Have a nice rest of the day. And our team will give you the brochure. And once they contacted you, you can always talk to us, and hopefully see you in the classroom next week. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Jan. Cheers.
Very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.